How's it going there, guys? I am Nick from the Weeb Lounge, and in this character spotlight, we are looking at Rey, the Princess Edition. We knew this was coming for the longest time. We finally got her, and is she worth it? Oh boy, is she worth it. She puts out some real pain, but it depends on the fight. Now, of course, she's a Prifest character, right? Came and gone in the banner already, and all Prifest characters are pretty much known to be good. Princess Rey here is no exception. Let's go ahead and get to the skills, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on why. Skill number 1, Twinkle Edge. I don't really like the name though. Increases her physical attack power and damage dealt on critical strikes. The more targets available, the higher the buffs. Now that's all well and good, and it's also limiting. Okay, all of a sudden you just realize, wait a minute, single target boss fights, single target fights in general, not going to really be her thing. I'll get to that. Skill number 2, the Rampage Slash, a frontline physical damage attack and physical attack power buff. The more targets that she hits with the skill, the higher the attack power buff. Okay, that just reinforces skill number 1 and my iteration before. She's not going to be shining on single target combat fights. But thankfully, I'm really glad this character came out because it actually clarified something that I was really trying to figure out for the longest time. Playing this game for almost 2 years, I'm finally figuring this out, right? I'll get into that too. The EX skill increases her physical attack power. If you happen to have her at 5 stars, greatly increases her physical attack power. I do recommend 5 stars. She is going to be a beast, depending on the fight. Her Union Burst, the Gloria Tempest. It is a large frontline physical attack. She's all about those frontline physical attacks. The more enemies that are hit, the more damage will be dealt if the attack happens to get a critical strike. So, in other words, she needs a lot of crit. You slap her in there with Labby, do a few other things. Yeah, she's going to be just beastly, okay? Let's go ahead and put her into combat, and I'll explain a little bit more why. Now, I wasn't expecting the character to be the way that she is, but I'm kind of happy that she is, because she just destroys things relentlessly. Okay, now I'm going to use the EX4 fight as the prime example of this character, alright? Now, for the longest time, I couldn't there's other characters that have, like, you know, the more targets there are, more targets hit and everything, blah, blah, blah. And let's take the EX4 fight into account. I always tried to wonder, you know, what the heck it was. You know, you basically have 2 mobs, right? Only 2 enemies, but each one of those enemies, and that just looks deadly. Each one of those enemies has 3 target points for a total of 6 target points. So I always wondered with the skills on these characters, it's like, okay, is it the amount of enemies on the screen or the amount of targets? Two greatly different things, and probably me just being a little contrived or something and my brain working too hard to figure this out. Turns out it's number of targets. It's all 6. So in the EX4 fight, her skills and everything are not going to scale based on 2 mobs. It's going to be based on the 6 target points. You already got through that. I mean, that was easy. I got her ranked 21, 5-star, maxed her out all to crazy, and I did that with a quickness because, oh, okay. Now, I haven't done this myself, but I've seen it, and it hurts, okay? The EX4 fight, oh, she can do some serious crazy damage. It makes the EX4 fight actually a lot easier, bringing her along. Just because the amount of damage that she does is just ridiculous. I've seen it. It's millions, okay? Period. She's just annihilating everything, simply put. This character is considered a double S tier class character. Now, in terms of like Luna Tower, she's decent. You know, as you're trying to get up there and everything, you know, fighting all the mobs, she's pretty good. In terms of just, you know, PvE, yeah. If it's a multi-target fight, you take her with, she will do fine. If it is just a single target boss, you leave her off to the side because you're not going to be able to get all that benefit. In terms of arena, you can make her work. She's not terribly rated high. She's like an A or something in there, kind of average, but there is a way to make her work. I'll let you guys figure that out. but you know, it's not her place to shine in the arena. But yeah, you can do something with her. You certainly can, and she can murder. You guys got to figure that out, though. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. Guys, this character was really, really worth it. Now, when she first came out and I saw it was like, depending on number of targets, I thought it was going to be a Prifest character that was actually going to be bottom of the barrel. I really did. I thought it was like, oh man, you know, they came out with Princess Ray. Everybody's anticipating her and everything, but it's multi-target, ally kind of... I didn't like it. I didn't like the idea of it. I thought, you know, hey, you got Samaruka over here. She does all the front line attacks, all this kind of crazy stuff and everything, and, you know, does good in the EX4 fight, depending. And I'm like, she's just got a unique equipment thing coming up, which I got to do a video on. And it's like, you know, why do we have Princess Ray in here? And then you realize Princess Ray is doing just as good or better. So, yeah. It works out pretty good. Definitely a character you should get. Definitely a character you should 5-star. If you didn't happen to get her during the last Prifest, then wait, hope, and try to go for it on the next one. Because when you're trying to push that end game content, and I should probably stress that, we're talking EX3, EX4 is where she's going to be able to come in handy. After, when you're trying to go up the ranks and everything, not as useful, still useful. Hands down, still useful. But it's not till you get to that end game where she's like, ooh, I do need this character. I will make use of this character. This character will do me well. We'll see you in the next video.